Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Mothers and daughters, I just wanted to come and talk with you today about the cult classic Mean Girls. I chose to talk about it today on Monday because the movie's coming out on Friday this week. So I thought, well, let me come and tell it to them this week just in case they decide to go and see it. Because I know a lot of people between, I would say, the age of 30 and maybe 45 are excited about it to go and see it. I was excited back in the day when Lindsay Lohan was a member of the cast and crew because growing up raising two girls and them watching, shows with her in it kind of got me to know who Lindsay Lohan was. But I want to tell you why I never really cared for the movie or why I didn't like it too much and why it's not really a cult classic to me. I'm going to give you my reasons from an adult perspective of what I saw in real life. There's a few things that I never liked about the movie. Love the cast. Love Lindsay Lohan. It's like no matter what Lindsay Lohan ever went through in her life with whatever drama, we just love Lindsay Lohan. It's like people love Britney, people love Lindsay Lohan. We love Lizzie McGuire. I mean, it's just some girls, we just really love Gabrielle Union, even though we don't like a lot that she does right now. We love Vivica Fox, even though, the girls are getting older. That's not the point. We like them and we try to fight for them when we can. But I never did like the movie. And I have to also say, no matter what, I never really liked Tina Fey's comedic ability. It's crass, and I don't like that. Especially when I know that it's going to make an impression on girls. Okay. This movie was really real life, and it spilled over into adulthood, where you have mean girls in adulthood. I'm going to tell you how you meet those mean girls. The movie is a cult-like movie, meaning that people watch it and they love it, and I think that's why producers feel like, oh, let's go ahead and make another. Guess what? You never needed to. The first one was the best one, so you didn't need to make another. And I'm so tired of these remakes that I did a whole show about it last week. When I tell you I'm tired of it, I cannot be the only one on the planet either. But we are so tired of the unoriginality. It's just so annoying. It's a lot of bullying, which spills over into mean girl life as adulthood, and I'll tell you how. And then I also felt like it had a little bit tones of racism in it, especially when Lindsay first goes to school. And her name was Caddy on there. When Caddy first goes to school and they say, yeah, she's from Africa, and then automatically the teacher just, again, I don't like Tina Fey's comedic ability. I think it's very crass. I think it's not funny. I've never liked her comedic ability. So that's just my personal opinion. And, of course, we're allowed to have our own opinion about things that we like and things we don't like. So the reason why I never liked Mean Girls also is because I saw how those type of girls were even when I was in school. I never had a problem with them. I never had to deal with them. I never made myself friendly to them so they knew that they could not be my friend. I never wanted to be around those type of girls, so I never was. I remember when I was in middle school and my sister had some friends who they thought they were all that and like 4 bags of chips and a loaf of bread. And they were real particular. If you weren't a little sister or a sister of somebody that was in their group, they were just kind of messy. And when I say messy, I'm talking about messy girls. Like they talked about everybody. They had something to say about what everybody said, everybody did, how you had your hair, how you had your clothes. These are the girls that end up being mean women. I'm going to tell you where you meet these women. I didn't like the joke that it made about homeschool kids because I'm going to tell you something. If I have one regret in life raising my kids, the one regret that I have always said to anybody who's ever had a listening ear is that if I could go back and do it again, I would have never When I say never, I mean never. I would have never let my children go to public school. I wouldn't have let them go to private either. I would have homeschooled them and figured it out some kind of way. But you know what? Back then, in the 90s, nobody would, or early 2000s, nobody was really thinking like that. And I won't say nobody, I'm just saying the people I knew were not thinking like that. So I didn't like the way they kind of made fun that Caddy, aka Lindsay Lohan, was homeschooled and made it seem like, well, she was homeschooled. She didn't know nothing, and she didn't. Homeschool kids get to know the kids that are in their homeschool group, just like the people at school get to know the people in their group. I personally wished I had not homeschooled my kids because they got an opportunity to see how other people raise their kids, which pretty much is crap. So that was my problem with it, okay? These same girls that are mean girls in school, I'm telling you firsthand and up front, I've seen them, they turn into mean women. They end up being the ones that you have to deal with and deal with their office politics. They end up being the ones that you have to deal with when you go to get a job, when you go to shop in the store, when you go to networking events. They end up being the girls that are in clubs that you're in. And when I say clubs, I'm talking about professional networking type of things. I'm not even talking about nightclubs because we can avoid every person in a nightclub. I've done it. So these people, girls, they end up being mean women. Bullying that was in this show, you're probably saying, why did she take this so serious? I didn't take the movie serious. It wasn't about seriousness. What it was about is these are the type of girls that I saw in middle school, in high school. The ones that acted like this, they were absolutely turning into mean women. I've seen this before, so I never wanted to have anything to do with it. So it wasn't a movie that I liked because I know I don't like those type of people. You know? Yeah, they made a joke about the gay guy. I think the line was he's almost too gay to function. And I get what they were trying to do with that, but what it does, in my opinion, is it puts a seed of thought in your mind, and then when you see other people who act like the certain little cliche things, you start to say those things about them because you'll say like, yeah, like in that movie Mean Girls, they said, yeah, he's too gay to function. Like you start to repeat those type of things. I'll never forget my uncle said when he was wanting to preach and everything, he was saying, he don't cuss and he don't go to nightclubs and he don't do debaucherous things. Because one thing he said is that if you do debaucherous things in the world, you'll do debaucherous things in the pulpit. And how about that has been proven to also be true to me? Because look at the pastor who just did the swag surf and all the secular music in his church on New Year's Eve. Obviously, this is how, according to my uncle, obviously this is how this preacher lives his real life, is in the secular world and listening to secular music and it's crying. I'm not saying because you're a Christian you have to only be surrounded by Christian things, but I'm saying that you should do your very best to avoid songs that have negative connotations and it cussing and it calling women outside of their name and things like that. And in addition, at least if you're going to do that, then guess what? Don't bring it to the public. Whatever happened to the days where you did not allow people to see you embarrass yourself? Whatever happened to the days that things you did privately in your bedroom, you would never talk about them in public? Whatever happened to the days that you just could have shut up and not said anything as to not let your real self be shown? But you know what? Another thing that was proven to me as I got older is that what people really think about you, they're going to let you know when they're annoyed with you or when they're mad with you or when you've done something that doesn't match what they thought you should have done. They're going to let you know how they really feel about you. So I know that this is a cult music movie, and I know that people love it, and I know that ladies my age are going to go and see it because they looked at these type of movies when their kids were younger. But I just don't do what the crowd does. As a matter of fact, if everybody's doing it, I promise you, and I can guarantee you, I'm typically not doing it. Like everybody ran out to see The Color Purple. I never had a desire to see it. I never had a thought that I wanted to see it. I never said anything about it. I was asked to go, and I said, no, thank you. And that person said, well, you know what? I'm glad we didn't buy you a ticket because I figured you would not be interested in. And I said, no, I'm not interested in seeing it. I saw the first one, read the book, and that was good enough for the sake of the story. But there's a lot in there that I would never watch it again just simply because, again, I'm very particular about what I feed into my brain because I feel like the things you feed into your brain, they come out in your everyday life. And in your everyday life, if you have these things that are surrounding you, you start to repeat them, you start to act like them, you start to do things like these things that you see in your mind, and sometimes it's just not a good deal. So, my point is, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like. But for me, my end results and my end goals for life must match what I do on a daily basis. Listen, I'm 51 years old right now, okay? I had fun in life. I have fun right now in life. And I don't drink, and I don't smoke, and I don't drug, and I was about to say the H word. I don't mess around. There's a lot that I don't do. But if I went down my list of all the things that I'm able to do because I don't do those things, you know what I'm saying? You would be surprised. Yeah, in my 20s, I was married. Yeah, in my 20s, I got divorced. Yeah, in my 20s, I had a 3-year run of just seeing what the world was really made of. Yeah, in my 20s, before I turned 30, I had 4 kids already. Yeah, in my 25 years old, I decided that I wanted to live a certain life and earn a certain amount of money so that by the time I get to this age, I could just chill out and not have to hustle and bustle and I could sit back and watch the fruits of my labor. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, in my 20s, I was able to make a huge difference in everything that I was doing. Yeah, in my 30s, I was continuing on that path. Yeah, in my 40s, I was making a lot of headway and had already done everything I needed to do before I was even 30 years old. And here I am now, and I can completely say, yes, I want to be around this person, or no. Yes, I want to work with this person, or no. Yes, I want to know more about this person, or no. Yes, I want to date that person, or no. Yes, I'll marry that person, or no. Like, I make all of my rules, but it's because I'm on the trajectory of what the end result looks like for me. So everything I do on a daily basis has to match that no matter what. So no, I won't be going out to see Mean Girls, but hey, I'm not telling you not to see it. I'm just saying, in hindsight, when I did see this movie, it made me think of the girls that I knew of from school. Never was friends with them, never had an inkling of even think I wanted to be friends with those type of women. And today, I'm not friends with women who are bullies. I'm not friends with women who always have something to gossip and say negative about folks that they're supposed to be friends with. Even today, I'm not around folks who have these little cliques that they give you the eye like, no, you can't come sit over here. I don't hang around people who smoke and drink and do things that I don't do, and they don't want you in their circle because they're not going to invite you because you don't drink. You don't know how many business networking events I stopped getting invited to because I wasn't sleeping around. If I could count on my everything I got to tell you how many events and parties and birthdays I wasn't invited to because I don't drink and smoke. If I could tell you all of the friendships that I have let burn and disintegrate because I don't like the way they cheat on their partners. I don't like the way they lie. I don't like the way they steal. I don't like the way they're dishonest. I don't like the way they cuss. That's the most disgusting thing to me, to sit around and listen to people just use profanity for no reason. I can see what happens if somebody make you mad and you slip one out. I get it. But you had to have been hanging around somebody to even be able to do that. See, I grew up in a cussing house, so as an adult, I decided that wasn't something I wanted to do. And then for the mom that's in the movie that's trying to be cool with her, I will never, ever be friends with my children. It's not in the cards. Okay, just for the record, it is not in the cards. I'm not their friend, I'm their parent, and that is just the way it is. I was just listening to Proverbs about a week or so ago, and it was saying to make sure that you discipline your children and let them know right from wrong so that you don't send something out into the world that's, like I'm saying, in this Mean Girls movie. So if that's something that you are interested in going and seeing, great. But I just want to tell you that in the Mean Girls movie, it cultivates mean women. Okay, so it cultivates into mean people. People you got to work with, people you got to be around. I don't like to be around those people. That's my show for today on Mean Girls. It's coming out this Friday, and if that's something you're going to go see, good luck. Bye.